What is up, everybody? Eric here. Traveling trading, 30 days, 30 trades. We are back at it again. This is trade day number, what, 13, I think we're on, of 30 days, 30 trades. We're like 15 trades in it. So we're at the halfway point. And you know what the great thing about being at the halfway point and halftime is that usually that's when things start to change and turn around. Not saying that it's been bad. It's been great these last couple of days. Has some ups, has some downs. But I know I said yesterday that it was the best day we've had so far, but I scratched that today. This is probably going to be the best day we have so far, okay? For those of you that don't know, Eric here again, Traveling Trading. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. What we're doing here in this 30 days, 30 trade segment is we're going to be trading for the next 30 days together, or we're going to be doing the next 30 trades together here. Whether they're good, they're bad, they're ugly, I'm not afraid to lose in front of you guys because I've been doing this for so long. But yeah, I'm basically trying to show you guys what day trading is day in and day out, how it applies. Hopefully have you make some money as well too. I mean, if you have been following along, if you are in the alerts and groups chat and all that good stuff, then you should have been doing this, making some money, which is great. Every trader is different. Not every trade is the same. Of course, this isn't investment advice. I'm just here for entertainment and educational purposes only. So make sure you're doing your due diligence as a trader, et cetera, et cetera. All the little legal disclaimers that separate me from you having any losses and all that good stuff, because again, every trader is different. But what I'm doing here as part of this segment of the 30 days, 30 trades, for those of you who don't know, we are trading anywhere between $0 to $20 stocks, which is what our specialty is. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more, with an exception of kind of like today, and you'll see why. Still was in that little $20 range, but you'll get what I'm going here with this for those of you who've been in the chat room today. But we're going to be trading roughly 50-cent stocks all the way up to $20 stocks that fit within that range, and never doing no more than 500 shares. So at any point in time, I'm only risking 10 grand at the most, no more than that per trade. I'm doing one trade a day. I only already do one trade a day. I'm sticking to my rules. One trade a day. Sometimes I'll do two, maybe three, depending on how good the market is and where I'm at in my trading. But I'm not going over that. The most trades I've ever did in one day was probably five. And again, all you need is 1 to 2 trades a day. Really, just one trade a day if it's the right trade, and usually it's going to be the right trade, especially if you have the alerts. So that's what I'm doing this here for, to kind of hone in on you guys that you don't need to be taking every single trade. You just need to hit the nail on the head with the one that you want to do, and let everything else just compound. Okay. Um, but this is what we do day in and day out as traders. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and without further ado, get into my trade that I took here today. Today was a really good day in the market. I don't know if it was because of the Fed chairs dropping the points basis, 25 points, but again, the market overall was red. So, but here that plays little to no factor to us. Well, actually, it does play a bit of a factor with the kind of stocks we trade. But ours were in the green. Hopefully, you guys were in the green as well too. But overall, market didn't do too hot today, but we did hot. All right. So look, you had stocks like VRAX, you had VRAR running, AMD. You had a few of them pop off towards the end of the day. Some of these will probably be on the watch list for you guys tomorrow. My main focus today was an all-day trade. Again, I don't like to usually stay all day in the trade. Usually my time frame is pretty short, but today was one of the exceptions. I'm not saying I was in the trade all day, but I wasn't sitting there staring at my chart all day. I was actually doing other stuff too. I mean, also too, this is why when I live stream, I don't do it for a long time, because I'm not going to sit there and let you guys just stare at me staring at a screen. That is pointless unless you guys had a bunch of questions. But a lot of you guys have been with me for a long time that you probably already had your questions answered. So for those of you that are new, understand that I am there to help you. So feel free to comment below, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and follow me along, and follow all of us along that are in the group and in the chat rooms, and in this 30 days 30 trade segment here. Okay. But NUKK, guys, was my one trade. I know you're probably looking at this and thinking, wait, Eric, you just said that you only trade 50 cents to $20 stocks. That one's at 77 bucks. But what do you think? That's right. We got in this thing below $20. Well, at least I did. I mean, you could have got into it afterwards and still, profited. We alerted this thing yesterday, and if you guys aren't following along, go look at day number 11 of the 30 days 30 trade segment. We were in NUKK yesterday. We got this thing alerted at $2. It ran all the way to 77 bucks. to make things fun and you guys want to stick around and see what I profited, I'm gonna put the results in the end of the video here. But know this, I got out of this trade in after hours. You see where it's at after hours right now. Right now it's like 6:08, so it's still after hours. You can see the stock is still moving. This is still live here, you know. But I got out of it after hours, and I'll kind of walk you through that. I'm not going to give you the exact number. You guys can wait and see what my profits was after that. But just know that today was the biggest gain so far in December for me. Um, and just like I told you guys yesterday, this is why experience come into play. Your time in the market is important because if you kind of, again, know how this stock moves, or just most of the stocks in general, you would understand why I let this thing ride out all day. So I'm gonna break it down for you, the thought process mainly behind this trade and my thoughts behind it. So that way it can make sense to you guys so that when you go apply this to your trades, I'm not saying you need to copy me in everything I do. Just understand that this is how some professional traders who do trade are looking into things. Of course, it's going to vary from market to market and segment to segment that you trade, whether you trade the NASDAQ, whether you trade gold or silver, whether you trade commodities, it doesn't matter. Thought process for the most part of trading is going to be the same. Not maybe the same aspects and ratios, but the same process of it. And I want you guys to understand that part because a lot of these traders and gurus that you guys tell me that you're following all that stuff, what they're teaching you is okay. I mean, they're teaching you candlesticks and learning the basics of trading, drawing trend lines and what this means and what that means, which is fine. A lot of these guys here, they don't get into the important part of trading. Well, one of the more important parts of the three-legged stool, which is the psychology portion of it, your thought process behind it, because that is going to be an overall thriving factor. Your trading strategies and you know your your indicators and isolators that you use and stuff like that, that's going to be like a basis point for trading. That's not going to get you over the hump of doing what you need to do to become a profitable trader and do this for like a living. So this is why I want you guys to follow me for the next 30 days, every single day. Today's December 18th, to see how I'm doing this day in and day out. And this is real cash money you can be taking home today. So I'm done on my pedal school. Let's go ahead and get into this trade. I'm gonna be cheesing probably out those whole time just because of what I've made off of this. And you would too if you were me. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? So with NUKK, how do we find this stock, guys? I mean, aside from the fact that we knew about it since yesterday from the alerts, easy. It was still on the watch list and the alerts for today. So it was on the back burner though. You know, we had some news from other stocks that popped up today to kind of keep our eye on as well. But this thing still made moves in pre-market, right? And so we still was notified early. So even if you got in at that time frame, you still could have made out like a bandit. It was back over, it broke over 16 right at almost opening of pre-market, and it was, you know, good to pretty much right out there. Give me a quick second here. Got a message from the missing, so let me report this. All right. So yeah, so we got a pre-market alert about it, so then it should have been on your eye and on your radar. So let's take a look at that chart here. Again, when I show you guys this chart here, we're looking at almost a naked chart. I wanted to have basically the isolators on there for you guys because this is TradingView. For those of you who don't know, I do most of my execute on my platform on Webull. So I don't have on here, I don't have things like the volume weighted average price, the exponential moving average, simple moving average. Those little things are not on here. Just basically two isolators on there for you guys to be able to utilize because that's what TradingView gives you. This isn't the paid version. The paid version is pretty good. This is one of the best charting platforms on there, but I don't really need it. For some of you who do different trading rules and trading strategies, you might need it. But again, this is just, I like the look of it a little bit better than like Thinkorswim or, you know, Webull as well too. It's a little bit more cleaner. So, but anyways, we got that little alert since yesterday. Look at where it was at yesterday. Remember guys, we got alerted this thing yesterday at like $2 and change to hop in this trade. And I've seen some of you guys tell me that you've been holding it since then. And man, congrats. I'm pretty sure at this point, even just being in the group paid for itself, you know. The fact that it's already the cheapest thing out there. But look at how much I want you guys to have value in this, and this is exactly what it is. It's crazy to think that other places are charging like $100, $300 a month or something like that just to be in their groups when you can get this same stuff here for way cheaper and make more money. But anyways, got the alert there, right? So key thing here, guys. Yeah, we got the alert and pop out. Obviously, I'm not jumping into it, waiting for some support to be established. And guess what happens? The support was never established there. It kind of broke through a little bit and started just grinding out. So at this point, right, I'm thinking, okay, this one's probably going to die down the rest of rest of pre-market. Now, what kind of caught my eye was towards the end there, it started to turn up a little bit, which is good. Now, notice that within pre-market, and this is why sometimes it is important to draw your trend lines and things like that. So again, you guys know my rule too, right? I'm not, if I'm in it pre-market, I'm out of pre-market. Same thing as it is with other things. I really hold. I never hold overnight throughout the day. I don't do that. I have bad experience with that, but I just don't do it generally as a rule of thumb. So if I'm in a trade today, I'm going to be out to trade today as well too. Win or lose, it doesn't matter because tomorrow's another day to trade. You always have another opportunity to get back into a trade, which is how it was with just NUKK being a prime example. So got back in this thing again. I got in it to almost at $17, so $16.99, right at the cusp of it. So let's say here we are, right? The thought process behind this. We got the alerts. We got the main stocks that I'm looking at that's closest to fitting my criteria of my trading strategy of what I want to do. You guys know me. I want to catch that momentum and ride it out, right? So once we got the narrowed down of what stocks I'm going to be looking at, NUKK comes up. It gives me some interest right here because of this green. Now we know come opening bell, what I'm going to be looking for is for some kind of a pullback and support to be established, or it's just going to rip and run and I'm not going to get into it. I missed it, which is fine because it is opening bell. I still want to wait for that pullback because why? I'm a bullish trader. I don't want to buy at the top. I want to buy where there's level of support. And if that support gets broken, I'm going to go ahead and just take my profit or take my loss and call it a day and wait for another setup. It just doesn't make sense. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It happens. No one knows it 100%. If you did, y'all be trillionaires. But let's kind of talk about got it identified, right? Now, how do I know what I want to risk here? Okay. The reason why I got into it at $17 or roughly $16.99 is because I had a good, that area right for me, when I knew if it was going to pull back, that was going to be a good level of risk to reward for me, which my risk to reward was going to be, I knew the support was going to be here. So I'm okay with losing possibly another $2 to $3 on my trade per, so like, again, if I'm getting in at $17, I'm expecting it to come down to maybe 14 at the most. I wouldn't, if next level of support I'm thinking is going to crack through would be 12. And the reason why I'm doing that, guys, is because guess what? I'm looking left. One of the things I teach you guys in the course always to do when you're measuring your risk in the risk reward segment is to look left because you want to identify key areas of levels of support and resistance, which is shown to you through doing that. So it's established for you here in pre-market. This is one of the lowest levels was what? $14. And that's kind of the highs right here, even from pre-market previously. So you know that's going to be a good level of support. The next one is going to be what? Probably between this little $12 to $10 range too. So I got to ask myself, am I okay at getting in at $17, but having it drop down to 14 possibly, or maybe even 10? Am I willing to cut that? Really at most, I don't, for me personally, I don't want to risk losing more than half my money. If it drops down 50%, I'm going to be sick, you know? It's really 20, 30% of my percentage of my money is fine, but man, I mean, 50% is like the limit. I'm like, I can't take that anymore, and then I'll go ahead and cut my losses. But anyways, your risk and your reward is going to be different for you as a trader, depending on your tolerance. So for me, I was okay with it dropping down to possibly $10 is my max stop out, but I was okay to see it go down to 14 at the most. And once it starts to get 14, if it broke 14, then I'm going to start to get ready to hover over that sell button because at that point I'm thinking it's going to be in a downward trend. The reason why I would think that's because we're coming off of a big high off this penny stock, off of little to no news. I mean, again, and not pulling stat, but small stock. But yeah, so again, willing to risk that reward to ratio, which is good because guess what? It never even touched there. In fact, this is one of the few times where I actually got this thing at probably one of the best portions to getting to the bottom. Excuse me. And the reason why that happened is because I measured my risk reward perfectly. How did I know to get into 16? I didn't, guys. I mean, well, I did because of the fact that, look here, throughout all this, what breaks am I looking for? The reason why I said $17 because I knew that in the pre-market, aside from this little phenomenon right here, the next area of resistance was what? $18, right? So this was happening all through our pre-market. So I want to see $18 or closer to $19 getting broken. So let's kind of that basically when I'm looking at that and measuring that, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I have a roughly a $2 range. I'm waiting for it to go up $2, but I'm also willing to risk $2 more. So if it jumps down to 15/14, I'm okay. If it pops up above 17, or sorry, if it pops up above 19, then I'm good there. So I have $2 up, $2 down. That's like a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So I'm okay with getting at $17. Perfect. Okay. And is that range wide enough for what I'm anticipating the pullback to be? Absolutely, because look at where my support and support levels are right there. Okay, but luckily for me, it popped, and then is my profit margin again? My profit again is what, $19, maybe 20 at the most. And the reason why it's in that range is because I wanted to not only break this one first, the next good level that I wanted to break is going to be roughly around this high here. Because as of what I know right now, this $24, $25 range has been the peak of it. Now, if it breaks that, I have no reason to get out this trade. Understand that? So we got my profit take area, $19. Then we got the let it ride area breaking that $24 range. If it gets back down to 19, I'm okay with taking that profit because why? That is initially my plan. This is how you're going to eliminate that FOMO you guys might have of, oh, I missed out on the big trade. I missed out on the big trade. If it's not a part of your trading strategy, you didn't miss out on it, and in best side you got lucky, which in this case it lucked out and played in my favor. So this is what I tell you guys, like how the best way to help yourself be able to identify if you should let it ride or not is doing that. Okay, so like let's look at this and how this played out. So it popped up, pulled back down to my entry point, got in right here, and then guess what? Boom, it pops 18. So now I'm like, great, we're there. We hit my profit target. Go ahead and let it ride. Then it pulls up, and guess what? Boom, it breaks another high. Now I'm ecstatic at this point. Like, man, this is a good trade. Now, even if I do get in, do get out here, etc., it's fine because guess what? I'm in the green. I'm in the green, right? And we know that this is going to pull back because guess what? One, it got halted, but also two, that's just a natural occurrence of the moving averages. It has to pull back. The sell orders have to get executed. Now, how far they get executed out is going to be questionable. Will it hit my 19 range down here? It's possible. What goes up, guys, must come down if enough people are pushing it down, but they're not. There's still optimism on this bad boy, which is good. So it broke down to right here. So at this point, you got to wonder, should I take my profits? No. Why would I need to take profits? Let it ride. Let it ride and grind it out. I'm not going to be concerned about getting, because at this point, if you're concerned about all this that's happened past your initial profit target, you're just being greedy. Okay. Now, the reason why I said I'm letting this ride out is because by either the end of the day, I go in and take my profits and it hasn't taken out my stop loss, my mental stop loss. I don't set hard stop losses because I don't want market makers taking it out. But also, too, just it helps you with discipline. But again, the reason why I'm letting it ride is because it's already so far in the green that I'm okay with getting whatever profit I get. As long as it doesn't break my $19 where I can just take my profits, it's fine. There are instances, guys, where it'll shoot on up and then it'll come back down and hit your profit target and then it can run up again. That does happen. Now, let's say if that does happen, are you going to be upset? Am I going to be upset? No. Why? Because I initially wanted to take the original profit of $19. Yeah, I might have missed out on that, but that's fine. That wasn't part of my trading strategy. And that's where letting it ride comes into play. If it's in the green and it's already part of your trading strategy, then you're good. Stop worrying about FOMO. Stop worrying about missing out, guys. You're not missing out because these things happen every single day. We've been doing this for the last 15 days so far. And for those of you that have been with me for a while, we've been doing this for 4 years. You know these type of trades come in all the time. So there's no reason to be worried about missing out on anything, okay? I can't stress that part enough, but this is how you let things ride, is having your initial plan and your profit take there and not being so emotionally attached to your trade is the only way you're going to be able to let things ride and maximize your profits. And so again, the pullback happened. I'm still sitting in it. No point to get out. No point to get out. I know eventually it's got to try to pop again, right? And this thing did try to pop again, and it, has some resistance there. So now you could be like, hey, I'm going to just take this. At this point, I can just take this because it's not showing any strength, and then it's starting to die down again. But for me, it wouldn't be no point to take it out because again, it didn't even break any of these other level supports. Until I start to see it start to downtrend initially a lot, there's no point in me taking my profits, guys. It just doesn't make sense because it's way beyond my target. So we're good there, right? And then yeah, it just kind of rose up and rose up, and then this is where it got interesting. Lunchtime, broke another level high. And as you can see just from here on out, guys, this thing just kept running and running and running and running. It's ridiculous. Now, I want to kind of focus on this area here real quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up here for you guys and call up in a little bit because a lot of you guys asked me about this. So when you had that initial run up there to like the $60 range, and people were asking me, why didn't I take my trades then? Well, one, I didn't need to. The day's not over. I'm lunchtime. I'm so far in the green. I could just shave off profits right now if I wanted to, but that initial drop will have to be so steep at once that, you know, it would probably crash the market if that's the case. But there was no point in me getting it out here. And of course, you got to anticipate this pullback. So look, from here, from $67 all the way down to 40, that's a $20 move there. So some people would like start to panic sell, but I know that this is initially part of the initial pullback just because of this indicator. And it could pull back even more. There's no telling how far back it could go down, but guess what? I'm still so far in the green, I can care less. In this range here, guys, I was coming down about a good 4 or 5 grand at that point, but I was already so far in the green, I didn't care. It doesn't matter, you know? So why not just let it hold out? I'm basically moving my initial profit take up and up and up more and more as I'm letting it ride out. And I'm okay with it because I'm going to be green regardless, you know? So that's the thought process behind that. So I'm just letting it ride out. And also, too, I knew that, hey, where we were at this time, guess what? Power hour is right along the cusp of this. So there could be initial pop, which it wasn't, which is fine. I was wrong with thinking that. But again, it still was at a good level of support in the $40 range. And I'm still well above my initial target price. I'm already 100% up. So why not just let it play out there, right? And then we have after hours. This is where it started to get interesting, especially towards the end of the last few minutes of the bell. It started to get green. So I'm knowing that that's a fact. Coming into after hours is going to potentially have some more of a little bit of pop. Not always the case, but there's something to be, said there to kind of recognize that. So I'm looking for the next level of support in after hours. So we got that initial pop up, good. Some people want to take their profits there at that point, which again, you're supposed to sell into your profits. I didn't want to take it here because one, it didn't break where it was at before, which isn't, necessarily needed, but it's just, a little, I would say a little bit curiosity that made me wonder if it was going to be able to get to that point again. And we're still early into the pre-market. We're right at the pre-market, so it's coming off of that hype. Now we're waiting for the other pullback of the support, and boom, it's established there, and now it starts to go green again. So now I know at this point here, it's starting to turn up. And then here in this area is where I took my profits at the rest of the day. And it's still grinding. Whoa, look at that. Since we've probably been on this in this video, it's dropped. So even if I was still in this trade, which I'm not, I already taken it, I'll show you guys the profits. Still, this would have been okay with me. This is probably like a good, couple $1,000 loss right there for some traders. So, but again, there was no reason for me to hang on to it at this point because I'm so far in the green. I know some of you guys in the chat room was saying like, you saw it possibly going to 100, which I mean, you probably weren't wrong. It could run again tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's pretty much how that trade went for me. I'm happy with it, and yeah, it was a great trade, guys. So hopefully this helps you out. Look at that bad boy just still move. It's been doing this while I've been doing this video here for you guys, which is fine. But it's still after hours, so you guys know this is all the stuff I'm doing here is live for you. So yeah, so pretty much here was the initial entry point. Got really good with nailing that bottom, all because of my risk management, guys. All because of my risk management. Again, if you're having trouble with the way you're letting things ride out on your trades, go back to journaling, guys. Your journals are very important. I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds dumb. But journal the right way. Journal the way I taught you in the trading course. Because I've seen some of you guys send me your journals who haven't even took the trading course. And those things, I don't know how you're making progress with it. Journaling your trades, it's more than just putting your entries and exits and looking at what you did. It's more than that. And I walk you guys through that through the course. And if that's all you're doing with your trading journals, you might as well just throw it away. You can print out a statement for that. So. But journal the things I tell you guys need to journal because that's going to help you tremendously get over that hump, especially in the psychological aspect, because you'll be able to recognize a lot of different things. And I'll point that stuff out to you in the trading journal. So if you're having trouble with learning how to let the trade ride out, especially when you're in the green, message me, guys. If you have any questions, concerns, like this stuff, that's what I'm here for. Okay. If you're not in alerts, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, that's the key. It's knowing what to trade is the key, guys. Because again, these kind of moves happen. Not this kind of move. This right here was a 350% gain for me I got in at 17 or 16.99 and got out in the after hours. I won't, again, I'm not gonna tell you the number. You can watch after the video and you'll see my profits there. But this was a great day, guys. This was a great day. But other than that, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all the above. If you have any questions, message me, comment them below so I can get to them. I see them right away with the comments. I don't. It's just me doing this, so I'm always gonna be up to date with your stuff. Email me, all the above. If you don't want to put it in the comments, if you want to ask me directly, you can. That's what I'm here for. If I'm not getting your messages on Facebook or something like that, message me on the email, eric@travelingtraining.com, et cetera, et cetera. Plenty of ways to reach me, guys, but that's what I'm here for, to help you guys and really just to show you that this stuff is real. I don't know what else I can do at this point. I don't know what else I can do. So we came out of the Forge in 2020, just kind of showing you guys that that GameStop stuff wasn't a fluke, that there are people that actually do this every day. I'm one of them. And I wish I had somebody like me when I was coming up and doing this, because it's not only is it hard to find genuine people who are actually trading for a day, but a lot of people don't want to take the time to teach you that stuff. It's because it's hard. And these gurus and people that you guys have been telling me about that you've been following, all they're teaching you guys is just simple stuff that you can find online for free. They're teaching you candlesticks, reading charts, and doing levels of support and resistance and key indicators. Trading is much more than that. It's way more than that. And if you don't know what aspects you're looking for in trading, you're not going to be successful, unfortunately. And there's parts of trading that cannot be taught in the course. It just cannot. I can't even teach you it, but I can tell you what to look for. I can tell you what you need to be doing day in and day out, you know? And plus it also helps to have someone who can just give you some pointers, guys. It really does. So don't overcomplicate this. Your trading strategies and all that good stuff, your strategy and the fundamentals are going to be a basis of what you're doing, but everything else, again, that's going to elevate you to go to the next level as a trader is going to be something that can't be taught, but you can't recognize what it is, okay? So other than that, guys, study up, follow along, check your alerts. Hopefully you're in alerts and you're getting these things. If you got some time throughout the day, read the charts, study up, and we'll get back at it again. Very end of this trade, we're going to total up, or not the end of the trade, but the end of the segment, guys, we're going to total up our gains, see where we're at, discuss a little bit more. I'm going to talk with you guys about what you need to do with your profits. And as a matter of fact, we'll use my profits as an example for this month of showing you guys what to do with your money and how I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but how I do what I do with my money to kind of get it to where working this every day in, day out works for you as basically your job. It's your 9 to 5, because that's exactly what it is. But you also don't have to have a job if you don't want to, kind of thing. So we'll do all that for you guys that are in the group chat and in the alerts. I'm gonna put that video in the alerts for you guys because I want you guys to understand. I know a lot of you guys are asking me about, hey, what do I do with my profits, kind of thing. I'm gonna just show you what I do with mine. Again, do what you want with your money, but this is what I do with mine and how I continuously kept this to where, it basically put it to where I don't have to work. This is my job, kind of thing. So yeah, I love it. Love it every day. Days like today is why we trade. Well, it's not the only reason why we trade, but one of the good reasons and results of why we trade. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have any questions, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. Follow me on the socials. Make sure you're hitting the little ring button on YouTube so you guys can get updated with the 30 days, 30 trades and where we're at with everything. Probably the last couple of weeks, I'll go live with everything on each platform just to kind of show you guys what we're looking at for the day and all that good stuff, and then go from there, all right? Other than that, guys, I'll talk to y'all later, and y'all stay green.